It started on a Tuesday morning, the kind that already felt too long before it even began. I had been working late hours for weeks, helping my company prepare for a client audit. My wife, Lauren, wasn't thrilled about my schedule, but she tried to be understanding. At least, I thought she was. That morning, as I sat down at my desk, my phone buzzed with a message from her. It read, "HR told me everything, LOL." I froze for a moment, unsure whether to laugh or panic. The message was so unexpected, and the LOL at the end didn't help. I immediately called her, but she didn't pick up. I texted back, asking what she meant, but all she replied was, "You know what I'm talking about." My mind started racing. HR told her everything. Everything about what? I worked in finance, not exactly the kind of job that had juicy secrets. Still, I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that something had gone terribly wrong. Throughout the day, I kept checking my phone, hoping for clarification. By noon, my coworkers noticed I was distracted. "You okay, man?" one of them asked. I nodded, forcing a smile. But the truth was, I was anything but okay. By 3 p.m., I finally decided to email HR myself, just to make sure there wasn't some kind of mix-up. The response came 15 minutes later, polite, formal, and completely confusing. They said there had been no communication with my wife whatsoever. That evening, I drove home with a knot in my stomach. Lauren was sitting on the couch when I walked in, scrolling through her phone with a look that could only be described as half annoyed, half triumphant. "So," she said, "you want to tell me what's going on at work?" I blinked, genuinely confused. "What are you talking about?" She folded her arms. "Don't play innocent. HR told me about you spending all those late nights with Emily." It hit me then, Emily was a project analyst I'd been paired with for the audit. We'd been working overtime, but it was all professional. Apparently, someone from our office had posted a photo on social media showing us having dinner after one of those late nights. It was a team dinner, but from the angle, it looked like we were alone. Someone must have shown it to her, and she jumped to conclusions. I tried to explain everything, the audit, the workload, the team dinner. But Lauren wasn't convinced. She said HR had confirmed it, though when I asked for proof, she admitted she hadn't spoken to anyone directly. "I just know," she said stubbornly. I wanted to be patient, but it hurt that she'd believe a rumor so easily. "You know me," I told her. "After everything we've been through, do you really think I'd disrespect you like that?" She didn't answer, just looked away. For the next few days, things were tense. She avoided long conversations, and I buried myself in work. The silence between us was heavy, the kind that makes even small talk feel impossible. I felt like I was being punished for something I didn't do. The worst part was that I couldn't even fix it because I didn't know who or what she believed anymore. Then, one morning, HR called me into the office unexpectedly. My heart dropped as I sat across from our manager, who looked uncomfortable. "We received a complaint from someone outside the company," he said. "Apparently, there were concerns about your unprofessional conduct. We checked everything, and there's nothing inappropriate in your record, but we thought you should know." I didn't have to ask who made the complaint. I already knew. That evening, I came home later than usual, not out of avoidance but because I needed time to think. When I walked in, Lauren was sitting at the dining table, her eyes red from crying. "I need to talk to you," she said softly. She explained that she had confronted one of my coworkers online after seeing the photo. The coworker had immediately told HR about the situation, which prompted their internal review. But when HR reached out to confirm the details, it became clear that the entire story had been built on a misunderstanding. Lauren broke down as she spoke. "I don't know what got into me," she said. "I just panicked. I saw that picture, and it looked so real. Then someone joked that HR knew, and I believed it." She looked at me with tearful eyes, waiting for me to respond. I wanted to be angry, but all I felt was tired, not of her, but of the doubt that had replaced trust between us. "I wish you had just asked me first," I said quietly. "One conversation could have saved both of us from a lot of hurt." She nodded, unable to speak. After a long pause, she whispered, "I'm sorry. I don't even know how to fix this." I sat beside her, took her hand, and said, "You start by believing me again. That's the only place we can go from here. In the days that followed, she made a real effort to repair things. She even called HR to apologize for causing confusion. They were understanding, though clearly surprised. At home, Lauren started opening up about her insecurities, how my long hours had made her feel distant, how loneliness had fueled her doubts. It wasn't easy to hear, but I listened. Because sometimes understanding comes not from defending yourself, but from hearing what the other person needed in the first place. Weeks passed, and slowly, the weight between us began to lift. Trust doesn't return overnight, but small gestures started to rebuild it. Coffee waiting for me in the morning, a text during work, a quiet dinner together without tension. We both learned that communication wasn't just about speaking, it was about the courage to listen even when it's uncomfortable. Months later, when the audit finally ended, I came home early one evening. On the counter was a small note from Lauren that read, "HR didn't tell me this, but you're still the best thing that ever happened to me." I couldn't help but laugh, not because it was funny, but because it felt like the full circle moment we both needed. That strange text she sent months earlier had nearly broken us, but what came after rebuilt us stronger. It taught us that assumptions can destroy faster than truth can repair, but love, when given patience and honesty, always finds its way back.